What I've created with the digital project manager, my partner company, is something called the PM Coffee Spot, where we invite collaborators like yourself and others who are thought leaders in the project management space to all come together in a community forum.
Well, Barbara, what exciting projects or initiatives are you currently working on that you can share with the listeners?
Oh, I'm doing all kinds of fun stuff. So last year, I decided to create a digital offering suite that's out there, a learning management system. And I call it Projects Practice. And what it is because I thought, the practice word, I wanted a place that people felt they can just go to and play around with some things. And it's not an official, it's not like what you do, Crystal, for example. It's not something that's going to help them necessarily pass a Project Management Institute exam, but it's going to help them be better in the workplace or be better with getting that project management job or be better with their confidence levels, right? And the imposter syndrome we all face as being project managers. So I kind of call it the sandwich method of learning, where I combine a combination of like short digital offerings with live sessions with either myself or my other chief project officers, or the people, and I should say not or, and the people that I create these digital offerings with. So the people, I never do them on my own. They're always with some expert. They're with somebody who has an area of expertise that I don't have to that same extent. So we work together on how we could do this, how we can help people put themselves forward in a particular problem area. So some of the topics that we have are around getting a project manager job, collaboration, how to fit product and project together, how to deal with change. Those are some of our topics. We just got our first one out there. We call it Get a PM Job. And there's two parts to it.
Ooh,
Yeah, Get a PM Job. And it's with my wonderful colleague named Laura Hartnell. She's a career transition specialist who helps project managers find jobs. And so we decided to partner together to create this. We have two parts to it. One is called Write a PM Resume, and the second is called Ace Your PM Interview. And with that, not only they're short little videos, plus we give our own stories of how we've seen either help people or struggled ourselves with this exact same area. And then with it comes, afterwards we just released it, but afterwards we'll be offering some live webinars with us. So you'll be able to actually talk
nice.
with us. So you learn the materials. That's why I kind of sandwich method, where we kind of talk about real life case studies in our digital offering. We also cover some content in there. You watch on your own time. And then we have some interactive activities where you can do them and send them back to us and we can look at them. And then we have the end of the bread on the other side of the sandwich, which is that we then meet with you as sometimes a group where you can have individual sessions. So I have that's out there. After Get a Job, Get a PM Job, I'm working on something called Get Your Collaboration Groove On. And I do that with my two chief project officers, one of which is named Cheryl Allen, and she's actually used to teach me. Crystal, she was my PMP class teacher
Nice.
when I went to UC Berkeley, because I went to UC Berkeley for project management school, and Cheryl actually taught me. She doesn't do it anymore. And she's now one of my chief project officers. And so I've created, we're working on editing it right now, or Get Your Collaboration Groove On. And then Annie McLeod, who I believe you know, is out of Canada as well. Cheryl's out of California. And she wrote a book about project collaboration and how to collaborate effectively within projects. So we're working on getting that out. That'll be next up. And so that's what I have on there for our digital offerings, plus the combination with the live mentoring set or the live webinars. And then we also have some mentoring sessions that we have out there. We call them Pick Our PM Brain. And that's where you can sit down with one of the more senior project managers at our company. It either might be myself, it might be Cheryl, it might be Annie, or others that are out there as well, where you just sit with us and you say, "Oh my gosh, I have this problem," whatever that problem might be. It might be back to how do I advance within the company, kind of the same thing I struggled with, right? How do I become analyst PM, and do I really want that title? It might be I have this really complex project and I'm way in over my head and I just don't know what to do. So those are where those live mentoring sessions, I don't call them coaching, they're a little bit different. They're more of, I really want the person to be able to move forward. So they do have a coaching edge to them, but they're mostly the mentoring because I want the
Mm-hmm.
person to be able to see how they can apply this directly within the work that they're doing at their company and use it as like a case study. And then the other thing that I have is, and I'm just working on getting this out, I call it Be a Pivoter. So we have a little bit of a membership model where people can become a project's pivoter, and they can, and I want to explain what a pivoter means. So what a pivoter in project management space, at least I think I might have made up this definition, is someone who starts their career thinking they're going to be something. Like in my case, I started my career thinking I was going to be a healthcare provider. But over time, that changes. And next thing you know, we're the go-to person. Anytime there's a new system that's in place, there's a new process that needs to be in place. And then as time goes on a little bit further, we're handed more and more things, more and more projects. And so that's the definition of what I call a pivoter. So as part of a pivoter model, we're offering kind of the first part, which has some job boards in there, and how some of our digital offerings are going to be in there. And then we have another level where you'll have access to more one-on-one work on a steady basis, month by month, with our chief project officers. So I call that our Be a Pivoter or Pivoter. You'll be able to see it on my website at projectspractice.com. And then the other thing I want to mention too is I've created a digital, a forum, a digital forum called the PM Coffee Spot, which I know you're familiar with because you're one of our
Mm-hmm.
collaborators. And these are for people that everything I just said earlier, they're like, oh, I'm not sure if I'm ready for that. Oh, I don't know about that yet. I'm not so sure. So what I've created with the digital project manager, my partner company, is something called the PM Coffee Spot, where we invite collaborators like yourself and others who are thought leaders in the project management space to all come together in a community forum. And this is a place to kind of sort through, where do I want to go? It is a forum, but it's not connected to like a LinkedIn or a Facebook or anything. So your information is safe. It's a very safe place for people to kind of talk through what they're going through. Some people might observe more than actually be involved in the conversations. We have, like I said, our collaborators. We also have resources. We have networking sessions in there. We have sessions that we invite people to come in and talk to the other folks. So that is called the PM Coffee Spot, and it's at thepmcoffeespot.com.
Excellent. You've got great projects going on, a lot of things getting you into your pivoting groove. So I love it. And we'll make sure that we provide links for all those great projects within the show notes. Well, then lastly, Barbara, I would love to know, I mean, there's actually a lot of ways for people to contact you, but what's the most convenient and the most direct way that people can get in contact with you?
Well, they can always go to my website, so projectspivot.com. There's a contact form there, as well as you can sign up there to be on our newsletter. I put out a newsletter every week. I'm also
Fantastic newsletter, by the way, folks. Like I meant to say it earlier, Barbara is really putting her heart and soul and just providing salient points and useful, helpful tips for your project. So I did want to give a shout out to you on your newsletter. Definitely sign up, folks.
Thanks. I love writing them. It's a lot of times whatever I write about is whatever somebody has mentioned to me the week before, and I'm like, oh,
Uh-huh.
that's a good topic to talk about. And
Oh,
also,
nice.
I do take requests, by the way, to my newsletter. I've started to have people being like, can you talk about this? Can you talk about that? So I have this latest where I actually take requests and being like, okay, yeah, I'll do a whole newsletter around that. They're not
Good.
long, but they're just enough to absorb. So
Just
you can
enough.
always go, yeah, you can always go to projectspivot.com. You can either reach out to us through the contact form. You can also sign up for our newsletter there. However, what I like best is just find me on LinkedIn, connect with me on LinkedIn, and send me a message on LinkedIn. I always answer. And I like to have a conversation because sometimes people don't quite know, what is it do I need? Do I need to just talk with you? Do I need the PM Coffee Spot? Do I need to take a digital offering? Is there potentially, maybe you could help me find a job within a company that is looking for somebody? So there's those conversations I think are super valuable. And if you reach out to me that way, I always answer.
That's great. Well, Barbara, thank you so much for your time. This is an exciting conversation to have with you. And I look forward to uh, just more collaborative opportunities with you. You and I got a chance to talk before hitting record, and you and I walk the talk, like the collaboration to bounce ideas off, make sure that we're going in the right direction. And so that's my encouragement for our listeners, is that don't be shy. You have a resource in Barbara. She has a ton of things available to you. So take full advantage. She doesn't bite. Give her a call. And thanks so much for listening. Thank you so much for tuning in to this special series with our guest. If you enjoyed these episodes, please subscribe, rate, and leave a review. It helps us bring even more great content to you. I'm Crystal Richards, and this is Real Life PMP Podcast. Until next time, keep growing, keep learning, and celebrate all of your wins.